Welcome to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcel Swiley. Feeling a little better today, at least sounding better. I don't know how I feel. I felt great yesterday. Really excited for today's show. But first, I always got to let you know what I'm up to. I'm around this house today. So our kids leave the house 7:30 in the morning, time to go to school. They got to leave because where they go to school is across the state border, basically, because we live in the valley of LA, call it California, and they go to school in proper LA. So anybody who's been to LA before knows if you cross the 405, 101, oh, there's hell to pay. Well, every day we got hell to pay. But this morning was extra special because we're around 7:22, about to get them loaded and get them out of here, right? And then my wife hits me with the baby. Now, I love my wife, but I could tell, like everybody can with their significant other, spouse, etc., the tone of the ask or the demand or the request is going to tell you all you need to know. So that baby was like, damn, she need me to do something. Now I was like, all right, what do I have to do? I only got 8 minutes because she know I got to film, so let's hear what I'm about to do in 8 minutes. And she's literally saying this. Imagine hearing this right when someone's about to leave the house and you're about to go to work. I need you to unload everything out of the freezer. The people are here to deliver our new freezer. And I'm sitting there like, I was judgmental as a mother. I was over there in my head like, what the? First thing I thought, I was like, who you think I am? Like, I ain't unload no freezer for these people to do it. I was like, if we paying somebody to give us a new freezer, can they at least get tipped to unload the freezer? Like, what? I'm taking out stir fry. I'm taking out old green vibrants and protein shakes that we froze a month ago. I'm just sitting there like, dog, in my head. Literally, of course, you got to do it. It's the honey-do list. And if I don't do it, I got hell to pay because she's going to be hot at me. So I literally do this. I unpack an entire freezer this morning in 8 minutes. And then I have to go outside to the moving truck people. They're here with a new freezer. And then he hits me with the okie doke. Oh, the box came damaged. We have it written in a report. We have to have you visibly see us open the box to make sure there's no damage. I'm like, dog. All right, now we passed 7:30. Now I'm late. I'm like, whatever. I watch him cut open a box, take out a damaged freezer, and says to me, do you want this freezer or not? It's damaged. I said, dog, you knew it was damaged. The damn box looked like this. Like, I was like, of course it's damaged. And so long story short, he has to pack the box up and then take it off. Oh, y'all didn't forget, did y'all? I already unpacked the entire freezer. There's stir fry all on the counter, damn it. I got to put it back. Now I'm at 7:45. I'm putting back stir fry, and then I'm here. So long story short, man, my mornings are always eventful. I love to start the show off that way, humanize these moments. But let's get into this, because Charles Barkley, he feels the same way about this generation's NBA player as I do about those freezer people. Give me that damn damaged freezer. Here we go. Quote, wait a minute. Y'all gonna make $70 million and you can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week? They fly private. They got the best medical stuff ever created. People working the steel mill every day. I'm pretty sure they're tired too, but they go to work every day. Man, that hits everybody the same on the top layer. Like, you damn right. There are people out there that have to work harder than you. There are people that have to work longer than you, and they don't even get the compensation you get. So obviously, Charles Barkley is right. Yeah. And we all sit there and roar on that surface level. But then we also know in life, there's a pyramid of success. Now, I define success as this. Close your eyes and imagine a life. Open your eyes, and that dream is a reality. Whatever you were thinking of, you actually made it happen. For me, it was going to be a school teacher growing up. I always wanted to be a school teacher, work with the kids, help them with their forks in the road, help them with their problems, help them learn. That was one of my dreams. Another one, obviously, was playing football. What are your dreams? But not everyone has the same dream. And also, not everyone has the same path. Why? Because not everyone has the same talents. So now you get a little deeper into this, you start to realize, this is a little bit of a false comparison here. And why is it a false comparison? Because in this world, in the pyramid of success, where most of the room is at the bottom, most of the room is where people are trying to climb up to things aspirationally, right? More difficult things, things where more people desire to do them. The line is longer at the top of the pyramid. It's unfair to talk about these NBA players in that respect. They possess, whether it's God-given ability or their work ethic, a tremendous, unique talent where there's a line longer than the globe is round, but only so few of them are picked and chosen to do it. So that separates them from the guy who delivered my freezer. It separates them from me, sitting here who can't shoot or dribble a basketball, even though I fit the stereotype, right? So you got to look at it from that level, and then you start to realize, oh, let's unpack it even more. How about the hypocrisy of all of us being real when you talk about, well, somebody is doing it harder and longer, so therefore they are not complaining, you shouldn't complain. I have a nanny. You guys may have nannies, you guys may have a babysitter, whoever it may be, a housekeeper, someone to come clean up every week or so, whatever it may be, right? And there's amazing moments where I'm looking like, wow, I am paying her salary and she's working harder than me. Literally, I can actually go wash that dish. I grew up washing dishes. Why am I not washing the dish now? Oh, I literally used to vacuum this whole house growing up. Why I can't vacuum now? Like everything that I'm doing now, and then I'm now tasking someone else to do, delegating someone else to do. Guess what that person is doing? Probably working harder, probably working longer, and not getting compensated the same. Y'all catch that? So now you look around your world. Who's in your world? The trash man. Who's in your world? Someone that comes and cleans up after you when you leave work. The custodian. Whoever it may be, working longer, working harder, but not getting the same as you. So I hate to exaggerate it all the way to the extreme, but let's go. Them NBA dudes, man, they get taken care of, protected. Why? Because they achieve something that a lot of us will raise our hands to do, but a lot of us just can't do it like them. So then it falls down to other people who, like me, I work harder than an NBA player right now. And it's close, but I still do, right? I work longer than the NBA player right now, right? It's close, but I still do. And I don't get the compensation of an NBA player. But for my entertainment, for me to jump out of my normal work day, my normal rigmarole, I always will support the NBA. So the get off my lawn concept sounds amazing until you go back in the house and realize somebody just cleaned up after you. Coming up on Never Shut Up, oh man, it's time to talk about Giannis. He feeling himself for good reason. The dude's a beast, but is he good enough to take shots at KD? Who is? That's my favorite player. Let's unpack it next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Reach TV. Somebody come pick up after me. Man, that's crazy. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley. Ooh, shots have been fired. How to survive in South Central. That's how it feels, right? You're going back to old Jerry Curl Ice Cube days because Giannis, in tongue-in-cheek, in jest, let me give you proper context, took a shot at KD. You got to see him. He's on a show, and, you know, Giannis is looking around. They're saying, read that, basically. And Giannis read this. Now, what he's saying and what he read is a shot. And, you know, all jokes have some sliver, if not more, of truth in it. But he still said this. You keep joining super teams to win an NBA title. How about we work out together sometime so I can teach you how to carry your own team? Now, what? That is dead on bullseye shooting at KD, LeBron, and others. But he's talking about KD right now. And he should have read it in Mr. T's Clubber Lang voice, right? He should have read it like Rocky III. Let's do it right. Hey, KD, keep joining super teams to win an NBA title, punk. How about we work out together sometime? So I can teach you how to carry your own team, sucker. Like, that's how you're supposed to read that, right? Because that is exactly what it took me to. Like, damn, Rocky, I don't know if you should fight Clubber. Like, it was a problem. And now, is KD in a position where you got guys, the great of greats, like a Giannis, feeling like they're different, on a different tier. So now we can shoot at KD, shoot down at KD while KD is down. Why is KD down? Well, one, he's injured right now. Reports are he's coming back this week. We'll see. More than that, man, it did not work out in Brooklyn. We get it. So he didn't have the super team, the big three that they desired with James Harden and Kyrie. It didn't play well, didn't play long together, right? So let's go back. Golden State Warriors, cupcake time, right? Where everybody's clowning him for joining a super team, a 73-win team that didn't win it all. I never understood this narrative. Not because it's not simple to understand, hey, you joined the best team, so you're going to get less credit. I kind of understand that. Even though we all learn sports this way. You're the captain, you're the captain. Pick. I'm picking the next best player. You pick. I'm picking the next best player. You pick. I got the next best player. Like, no one ever just skipped that unless it was your best friend who always cried. That's the only time he's like, all right, damn. All right, I got Sanjay. He always crying, damn. And you don't even want Sanjay. He fat, he's slow, he can't play, whatever it may be. Point being, we learn sports that way. Let's be real. Then we got to the professional level, whether you made it or you're a fan of it, and we understood sports the same way, except the roles changed. It wasn't the player saying, I got you, I got you, I got you. It was the general manager. It was the owner at times saying, I got him. And we had no problem with it when they were the ones in power making those decisions. Oh, that's just a loaded Boston Celtics team of the 80s. Oh, that's just a loaded Los Angeles Lakers team of the 80s. Oh, that's just, what a GM does and got the Bulls together. Like, okay, but what happens if the player says, hey, GM, check this out. Let me help you out a little bit. Go get him. Go get him. Let's do this. What's the harm in that? And what's the vitriol, the hate, the angst that everyone has that a player can't do the same thing that a general manager does? No, that works the opposite. General managers can't do what players do, right? Some of them used to, but can't in this moment. But a player can look at the landscape and say, hey, I think we need that. Go make that move. What is so damning about that? Why do I bring that up? Because I think that supports everything Giannis is talking about. You are hopping around. You are trying to play GM when you're sitting still, or you're trying to be the cherry on top to already super team. And that's not how ball is played. What? Ball is always played that way. Remember, Giannis with Chris Middleton wasn't winning nothing. They were getting close, wasn't winning a thing. Where did Jrue Holiday come from? Some say the best two-way player we got in the game right now. Where'd he come from? Oh, you add him to a team, and now you got something. And I hear the pushback. Jrue Holiday ain't no damn KD. That's a Jrue Holiday problem, y'all. That's not a KD problem. Like, oh, I'm too good to go to a good situation. To me, that's silly. We saw it. Like, Dennis Rodman was the best rebounder ever. And he didn't go to a sorry team. He said, oh, y'all had Horace Grant. That was cute. Let me go to the best team, and now let me add my talents, and let's go get it. Why are we so negative towards a great player going to a great situation? We are not mad at a Fortune 500 company that goes and gets the best CEO that is a free agent. We are not mad in our worlds when the best teacher wants to now go to the best school. But somehow, some way, we get hella lazy when we talk about sports. And like, nah, I want the best team to get the worst players. You guys have been brainwashed. That's called the draft. The draft is when the best players within a category of 32 in the NFL, 30 in the NBA, your best team drafts last in that round. And usually that's the worst of those 30, 32 players. You guys have taken that too far. Because when I'm a free agent, say it again, free agent, I could do what the hell I want to do. And I love the Golden State Warriors with KD because that Goliath was on steroids. It was like, dog, good luck beating them. And no one did. Only injuries. Only that undermined their success when they all start getting hurt, especially KD. So I know Giannis wasn't serious about this, but even though in laughter we know that there's some seriousness to it, we need to get off these dudes when they get an opportunity to go where they want to go, to build where they want to build. But it seems like today in our sports landscape, we know what Charles Barkley would say about this. And would Charles Barkley love to have won a ring? Absolutely. Did he join a super team, Houston? I would say yes. Did it work out for him? No. But the point is, A for effort. You tried, and now we're going to condemn someone who had an A for effort in KD and an A in achievement because he actually got a couple rings out of it. Kind of silly to me. And y'all know me, I'm a huge KD fan. But I'm really protecting the argument in here, not the player. But Giannis versus KD, who is the better player? Woo! Y'all know my vote, but I'm going to check them comments to see if I need to learn something else. Well, coming up on Never Shut Up, oh, man, the Golden State Warriors, the NBA champions, right? They had a video go out questioning who is the worst babysitter on their team. Boy, we're going to have fun with that because I'm going to shoot out some names to you guys, let you know I've seen some bad babysitter teammates in my life. That's next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Reach TV. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley here. About to travel up north to the Golden State Warriors. Let's go to the Bay Area right now. They had a funny video out there. You guys probably have seen it. Asking everyone on the team who's the worst babysitter of all of them, right? Who do you think that would be? And it was unanimous in its decision to name Klay Thompson by far as the worst babysitter on that team. If you know Klay Thompson, and I do a little bit, actually know his father even better, Michael Thompson, former LA Laker great. Yeah, Klay, and I've known Klay for a while, like from college all the way through. Let's just say that some things may slip Klay's mind here or there, or he just lives on a different frequency than the average bear, which we love, right? So he won that one, and I was laughing at that because it made me reflect on, damn, all of the teammates that I had. And just to keep the game going and having fun, I'm going to keep it to like the Hall of Fame level teammates I had, or Hall of Famers, etc., right? Who would be the worst babysitter of all of my teammates? Now, what do I need out of a babysitter is the first and most important thing, right? Because it's different for everybody. Like, we don't use a babysitter, but when we have in the past, because we usually just have our nanny, it's someone who comes in here, don't want you doing too much, right? Just sit there, watch TV, kids asleep. You know, you could talk on the phone, kids asleep, and just be alert and also have a plan if something goes wrong, which means call us, take care of the kids, call 911, and you can do that. So babysitter to me is not a graduate school job, right? It's a high school kind of job. Like, all right, I could do that. I could pull that off, right? Even though you got valuables in terms of the kids' home. So of my teammates, let's start in Buffalo. Who have been the worst of all of my teammates? I'm talking about like between Bruce Smith, Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas. Let's throw the coaches in there. Marv Levy, Wade Phillips. Who have been the worst? By far, I think Wade Phillips. I don't know why I'm thinking this, because he's a tremendous dude, great guy character, but he trusts everybody. Like, I can hear Wade, because Wade used to practice like this. He's like, look, I'm not yelling at you guys. If I yell at you, that means you don't know what you're doing and you don't want to know, and I got to force it out of you. I'm not yelling. I'm just going to give you the information. You take the information, do your best with it, and that's going to lead to success, which is a perfect formula. However, it doesn't look as good in the NFL when every other coach is faking it and being a theater actor and I'm like, dog, shut up. I know what I'm supposed to do. Help me do that. That's it. But I can see Wade with my kids. Literally like, so what time is your bedtime? And then the kids are like, 9. He's like, 9? That's kind of late. He's like, okay, well, it's 9:30 right now. You thinking about going to bed? And the kids be like, no, we're not going to go to bed. Because Wade was like, look, ultimately it's going to fall on you, so you better do the right thing. He was just a trusting dude. I can imagine letting them kids stay up all night. Oh, whatever, we'll just blitz them on goal line. We'll get the ball back. Like, he'll do that with my kids as well. In San Diego, between Junior Seau, Rodney Harrison, LT, Drew Brees, let's even throw in like David Boston. Oh my God, y'all remember David Boston? This dude used to take 107 pills every single day and 2 injections at lunch. I ain't lying. Y'all want to know why he did it? Y'all know why he did it. Anyway, dude was bigger than me. Here's the thing. Of all those guys who would be the best, it's close between Rodney and LT, but it's clearly going to be LT. LT, man, that dude got the biggest heart in the world. He was the nicest dude then and still to this day. But it's amazing how cool he is. But LT ain't no punk. But LT is a disciplinarian. LT about work. However, he's worked like in a nice way that makes the environment comfortable. So I think my kids will enjoy that experience. But trust me, they ain't staying up to 9 and 9:30 like they did with Wade. Oh, LT gonna have their ass in bed. All right, now let's go to Dallas. I got Keyshawn Johnson. I got Eddie George. I got Darren Woodson, ballers, beast everywhere, right? I got Leroy Glover. I got Bill Parcells. It ain't Bill Parcells. Man, my kids would come home from school and Bill Parcells and they sitting, sit down now. Oh, shit, them kids be like, what? First of all, my kids ain't gonna sit down, so good luck, Bill. You better keep yelling. But of those guys, Darren Woodson. I would say Eddie George, but Eddie George, he's bigger than life. Like everywhere I've been with Eddie, it's just always a lot of pulls and demands on him. I can just see Eddie, like the kids are asleep, right? And Eddie like, oh man, I could walk this red carpet 50,000 and be back in 10 minutes. I think it's not far. I can make it. Eddie just go get his because Eddie is just a superstar, right? But in all seriousness, it's Darren Woodson. That dude was amazing. He was an adult. He was a gentleman. Like, he was distinguished. And we were like all the same age pretty much. It just felt like that was a mature leader you could always lean on. Let's end it with going to Jacksonville. I got we got Fred Taylor, Byron Leftwich, Marcus Stroud, Mercedes Lewis. Yes, the same Mercedes Lewis. He's still playing. That dude been playing. Forget Tom Brady. Mercedes Lewis is in the trenches still playing. I think it's like his 20th year or something. It's crazy. Jack Del Rio. Oh, my God. I think we're not going out that night. I think I'm not leaving my kids with any of them. Mercedes would be the one. I picked Mercedes being real. But it was close to saying nobody. Mercedes is a beast. I mean, you don't play that long unless you are committed to your craft, correct? And that's who Mercedes is. Big dude. I remember he was a rookie. He got drafted when I was there in like my 10th year. And I remember having to go against him. And that's the one thing about the NFL. You actually want the best players against you to be on the other team. Because if they're on your team, you have to go against them 60, 70 times every day. And there's hell to pay. Like I was in Dallas and I had to go against Larry Allen every day. I was like, dog, it was way better when I only had to see you once a year or one game a year. So it would be Mercedes, man. He's just committed to the game. I know he'd be committed to his task at hand. Just try to have a little fun with that. The Golden State Warriors obviously said the worst. I had to flip it. I said who would be the best because I wanted to give props because actually the list is too long of the worst. It would have been everybody on that damn team, including me, because I was a bad teammate in a different way. Coming up on Never Shut Up, full episode raw. It's time to get realer than real. We're going to talk about a prayer that happened in church that actually foiled a plot twist of an armed robbery at church. Y'all catch that? Yes, we are going CSI church style. Next on Never Shut Up. on Brinks TV, and see you tomorrow on Reach TV. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley. Ooh, I got to get into this story right here. And it's going to take us a few different places. All right, imagine this setting. You're in church. And this pastor in particular looked like he played a little ball before, right? One of those big old dudes, fullback looking, strong safety looking dudes, right? And he's the pastor going around. And the pastor had a spidey sense. He's looking around the church, the congregation, sees 3 younger kids, right? So let's say they're 16, 17, that world, everybody else in there. You know, at church, number grandmamas with that little web on their head and them little white dresses, and they be in there doing it with them little fat, thick heels. That's usually church, right? And then you got the youngsters, but youngsters like 30s and 40s. And then it's kind of strange, a little weird, when you see 3 male boys sitting there young without an auntie, a grandma, or somebody there in attendance chaperoning, right? So probably the spidey sense went off like, all right, I've been here for 27 years over here at the First Tabernacle, and I've never seen that before. So he plays it off a little bit, but with intention, goes back there and starts talking to the kids. What's your name? I think the kid said his name was Twin or something. He's like, what's your real name? Now that let me know right then. He was like, don't make me have to take the cloth off because I understand what's cracking, homie. So he's just circling them, bringing the congregation around, you know, then hit them with let's just lead in prayer right now and pray for these young kids right here. And what happened by the reports was that those same kids weren't there to praise the Lord. They was there for the donation plate, and they wanted it all. And that prayer and the church all giving attention to these kids changed that plot, changed it, made those kids realize, I'm not going to do this, and the pastor saves the day. It made me think about my journey with religion, my journey in the church. I started off like 7 years old, religified. My great-grandmother, I always called her my grandmother growing up until I realized, oh, damn, she hella old. She my great-grandma, right? Grandmama Deal from Shreveport, super religified. Like every night I was over at her house, had to read the Bible. Every morning waking up, we had to pray. We went to church all the time. And I had the best foundation of learning about church, God, religion, Jesus, etc. It gave me a great understanding of principles. The best thing that came out of all of that was not only the bonding I had with my family and my grandmother, but the fact that I went in there and I will witness people trying their best to be their highest versions of themselves. Like literally get into a mental, spiritual place where all of a sudden they felt their best. Now, I'm going to be real. We would leave church and that same person who was just the nicest, sweetest, holier than thou person in the pew was now the one who threw up the middle finger or cursed somebody out down the street because they cut them off. Like it just happened that fast. But just to see that transformation, just to see people in that space and the way I felt, I was committed to the church. You fast forward, I'm super religified when I get to Columbia. A lot was coming at me. I was doing a lot. And I was just like, man, I'm a hypocrite. Because I know I'm in these streets. I know I'm in these dorm rooms. I know I'm in these co-ed bathrooms. I know I'm doing the wrong thing. But I keep reading that I shouldn't do it. And I was like, but I am not convicted to not do it or not disciplined, whatever it is. And I was like, damn, I'm young. Okay. I hope I don't die right now, because if I die right now, oh man, forgive me for my sins, but hopefully I have time to actually live out everything that I'm reading that I should be doing. Because I'm breaking commandments, it feels like, damn it, right, on the daily. So I'm struggling with it because I know if I am supposed to be this, I am not going to heaven, right? That was some real conversations I used to have, but still go to church. And then I broke up with my fiance at the time, my first of my multi-engagements, let's say that. And that was the first time I was like, let me test religion. Let me get outside of the scope of religion. One, because she was super religified. And I was like, if this ain't working, then let me try it a different way. And two, I knew if I was bad at Columbia, I just got drafted to the NFL. Oh, I was going to be a heathen. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be that overt in terms of not finding and following the things in the Bible. So I was like, if I'm going to be this bad and bucket, then fuck it. I'm just not going to be in the church right now. And that's when, you know, you graduate from a higher university, you run into a lot of atheists, people are agnostic, different religions, faiths, people all across the globe, right? And I started looking at religion more intellectually than I did spiritually, right? I started to look at it like in terms of concepts and looking at sin as more of things that you shouldn't do because they really hamper, they really hinder, they really undermine all of your efforts to do something, right? So it's not sin, you're going to go to hell, die per se, but it's more like you're not going to get to your heaven. I was like, interesting. All right, so if I do this, this is going to block me from my greatest version, my heaven on earth. So I started looking at it that way. But then the roller coaster got back into church heavily. I only bring this up because I wonder what your journey has looked like in religion. Because this is not a conversation a lot of people want to have, right? One, they don't want to be honest with themselves and talk about it in communion. They don't want everybody to know, oh yeah, I wasn't even tripping. It doesn't seem like that's the most comfortable conversation. What do they say? Never discuss religion and politics. Well, that doesn't help us grow. So we are going to discuss religion and politics. Doesn't mean you got to be political and blind. Doesn't mean you got to be religified and blind. But at the same time, we need to have open discussions. What I also caught from this was the power of prayer. And I used to look at prayer all the wrong ways. You know, you grow up here, you see your grandma over there with her long black silky hair, little gray strips in there, has some of that nice Murray's in there. My grandma had a Snoop ponytail before Snoop. That thing was slick. And she's praying. And I don't know what she was praying for because I didn't see a lot change on the outside. Like we were broke. I didn't see a lot change on the outside. We did the same things, it felt like every week. But she felt great. She was such a sweet lady, right? So I was like, maybe the prayer is showing this power within her. That said, I used to only pray for things I wanted. Like I was thankful for what you gave me, but I always wanted something, right? Every prayer, it was thanks for my mama, my daddy, my grandma, my sister, everybody alive, and I could play football and I could run and I'm smart. By the way, can I get them Transformers? By the way, where that BMX bike at? And I don't want a Huffy. I need a Mongoose. Come on, God, roll them. So I used to go through all that. But then I understood what prayer really was about. It was talking to yourself with attention and intention. Yeah, that to me was prayer. Because once I activate the God in me, once I activate that inner power, then the world, good luck trying to beat me, right? That's how I feel. The power of prayer, the faith comes from, what did you just say to yourself? Oh, you know your greatest power heard that. Now go out there and beat everything because you're going to be greater than your circumstances, right? And I was like, damn, that's prayer. So I love that in this moment watching that video, just the simple prayer made those three little kids say, nah, man, we're not about to do that. That is a power. That is something that was manifested from the inside out. Just to have the courage to confront these kids, just to not be in fear, just not to bum rush these kids and just go out there and judge them. Like all of those things of discernment all came, I think, from the power of that prayer. I always talk about attention and intention, right? You want something done, all you got to do is keep thinking about it because those thoughts are going to manifest into words and actions. You got to keep it on your hard drive. You got to continue to make sure that you are always engaged with it. So my journey with religion right now, where am I? I'm in that wishful phase. Like, dang, I wish I go to church more. And I rarely go, you know. And I have great relationships. Bishop Noel Jones, say what y'all want. I love that guy. there's not been a word that came out of his mouth as a pastor that I've ever sat there and said, I don't get it. He is phenomenal, and he's not the only one. So I catch a lot more through digital, through YouTube clips and watching them when they stream. But I need to get myself in there in these kids because the principles and foundations you get from the church, regardless of religion, are something that you can't get anywhere else. All right, y'all. Y'all know how we end this show. And I have been issued a challenge from our producer of Never Shut Up, Courtney, who says, oh, this is going to be interesting. Explain this Wileyism. Let me do it. Today's Wileyism is to ignore is to pay attention. I say it again. To ignore is to pay attention. Y'all get this one? Okay, it could be a curveball. It hit me when I was like in, I'd say junior high. And I remember writing it down like, man, I noticed the people that had problems with each other, the people that had beef with each other, the people that was from this set that didn't like this set, the Crip and the Blood. I noticed that when they had those issues between them, I don't fuck with you, homie. When they had that, to ignore them, like I don't fuck with you, what? They looking like they don't even see them, is to actually pay attention to them. I started to see cats who wouldn't even look at another dude, but knew every move that dude made, knew where that dude was at all times, knew not to run into that dude because they knew where the dude was. How you not run into him? He used to be your best friend, your homeboy, or we all trapped in this small space, but somehow, some way, y'all ain't ever locked eyes, y'all ain't never connected, y'all ain't never bumped into each other. You want to know why? Because to ignore, man, don't fuck with him, is to pay attention. Then, you ever see two people beefing and you the one that's cool with both of them, so you just sit back and laugh like, oh, I'm going to count how many times you over there giving them that side eye and that sneak look. Women are queens of this. This is why whenever a woman locks eyes with you, go, dude, go. She is ready to be hollered at. Why? Because they know how to, they just know how to get away with it. But when they let you catch them, oh, they want to get caught. That's it. So I've always known that when people are ignoring someone, ignoring an issue, oh, that person is paying attention to it. Well, that'll do it for today's episode of Never Shut Up. I explained the Wileyism. That's what I do. You guys check me out tomorrow, man. I don't know what the hell we gonna talk about because I just wake up in the morning, jump out my bed. I'm in my two-man cell with the homie Lil Had Dead. And then I just make up stuff. So that's the freedom of doing this. I see y'all tomorrow on Never Shut Up, Brinks TV, Reach TV, and buy some of this from me, boy. See y'all tomorrow.